What up, y'all? Josh Samuel here. Thank you all so much once again for tuning in. Now, there is so much that works tremendously well in Season 3 of Daredevil that it's no wonder many are hailing it as the best season of Daredevil yet. Having been a fan of the character for a while and having stuck with the series since the start, I'll start by confirming that Season 3 of Daredevil goes all in. We all knew he'd be back, but Matt's return comes with him being broken and burying whatever shreds of Daredevil and putting his past life away, especially once he realizes that Elektra is nowhere to be found. It's great that Netflix found Charlie Cox to play Matt Murdock, because honestly, I cannot picture him being played by anyone else. Even if the day comes that Matt Murdock appears in the MCU films, I sincerely hope that Charlie is the guy that plays him. He's just that damn good. It's the little moments like when he has to fight blind and move like an actual blind person that shows his commitment to the character. I also like that Season 3 kept him out of the costume and showed that Matt needed to build himself back up, as opposed to just rushing through the story. Matt had to work on himself first and foremost. The final confrontation between Daredevil and the main antagonist of this season is certainly up there with one of the best acted and chill-inducing moments of the show itself, and I hope everyone enjoyed it as much as I did. One character that I feel has progressed fairly well with each season, regardless of how we feel about Season 2, is Franklin Foggy Nelson. Matt and Foggy don't spend as much time together in Season 3 like they have in prior seasons, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. Foggy shows this season that he wants to do just as much good like his counterparts, even going so far as to begin a campaign for a higher position than the one he holds at the moment. Seeing how far he's come from Season 1 to now, to me he's progressed very well. Wilson Bethel's turn as the twisted federal agent Pondexter adds a much needed opponent to this season, and to see his slow turn into complete madness, thanks in large part to a certain someone, pun intended, adds a lot of drama to this season. He's clearly someone that could turn up in future seasons of Daredevil, and his quote-unquote exit is certainly set up that way. But make no mistake, if Season 2 belonged to John Bernthal's Punisher, Season 3 completely belongs to Vincent D'Onofrio's Wilson Fisk. If anyone should be the most mentioned when discussing Season 3, it's definitely him. This season his presence is certainly felt throughout the entire season, and sitting back and watching how one by one he turns good man bad is truly fascinating to watch. How he goes from menacing to calm, and how he's able to manipulate the entire Federal Bureau is crazy to see. I don't know about everyone else, but the thought that one person could do such a thing is pretty disturbing to think about, which is why it sort of reminded me of Captain America the Winter Soldier or Hydra. Wilson's plan to gain his freedom and the woman he loves is as calculating as it can possibly get, and seeing him don the iconic suit, as well as his scenes with Agent Pondexter, were awesome to see. I certainly understand why many would like to see him in the MCU, particularly against Spider-Man, but he's so great on Netflix that it's hard to picture him elsewhere, at least for now. At any rate, I sincerely hope that Mickey Thanos, aka the Gauntlet of Disney, doesn't swoop in and try to take Daredevil away from us, because both D'Onofrio and Cox are truly the best components of the current running shows. And now let's talk about Karen Page. She was okay in Season 1, but little by little she becomes less likable and more of an annoyance. Similarly to Felicity Smoke, though not quite that bad. But simply put, I feel Foggy Nelson continues to progress, and Karen Page does not. How she goes from wanting desperately for Matt's resurrection, and then suddenly being angry at him when he appears, leaves me thinking that she was just in desperate need of some double D. But beyond that, it's like for every good moment she has two more that make me shake my head. Still, it was interesting to see the episode that revealed a lot more about who she was before, but even then I can't exactly say that I was even surprised. Even though I was happy to see their inevitable reunion at the end, along with her gloating about what really happened to Wesley straight to Fisk's face, overall she brought this season down a bit for me, like Thor's Thunder in Wakanda. Some other things that I really enjoyed about this season is the reveal about Matt's parentage. I also liked how Matt went all in his black suit, and that the action scenes were even more engaging in this one. If the action sequences in Season 1 were bloody good, then in Season 3 they are seriously even better. There are certainly some nods to Born Again, and with Fisk knowing the true identity of Daredevil, that in itself makes for some thrilling interactions that certainly come with consequence. Daredevil in Season 2, for example, argued against killing, but this time around things are much different, and it seems like the rules have completely gone out the window. Matt has always had ties to the church, but this season the focus on religion itself is noticeably more present than it has been in seasons past. There's no graveyard scene like season 2, but there's a shot that I was particularly fond of in the final moments of episode 10 of this season. Now, even though I did miss seeing Stick, season 3 supporting characters all feel admittedly more integral here than some of the supporting cast did in season 2. Characters like Ray Nadeem and a certain redhead that Agent Pondexter has a fond eye for all mean something to this season itself. And unlike some of the prior seasons of Marvel's Netflix shows, season 3 of Daredevil doesn't take as long to get going like the others have. And though the ending is well earned and certainly could be a signal of things ending for good, there are still a lot of unanswered questions that are left and a lot of things that could happen come a potential season 4. Not only does season 3 feel different from season 2, it also to me feels like a much better follow-up to season 1, even while I enjoyed season 2 for the most part. If Jessica Jones season 2 and Punisher season 2 are to be the final seasons of those respective shows, thanks to Disney's Goofy Gauntlet, then I seriously hope they leave the same amount of impact that Daredevil season 3 does. Because given all the releases that came before it this year, Jessica Jones season 2, Luke Cage and Iron Fist season 2, Daredevil as a show continues to be in a league in its own. And quite frankly, season 3 takes the W for the best season of Marvel's Netflix shows this year.